You are listening and watching a very special podcast. Alright, guys, today we are going to do on Randi Kerr, also known as Randi. Alright, here's her perspective view. Enjoy! Randi Kerr. Friends call her Randi. At least they would if she had any friends. But the only friends she has was her 12 sisters and her mother and father. They were all a beautiful family. Even though they had beauty, the rest of the family, they also had goodness. So, beauty equals goodness. Randi was one of the most kindest and wonderful girls you would ever meet. She was selfless. She was trusting people, trusting some not so nice people for her family. They warned that the naive and also wide-eyed Randi was trusting people that may or may not be the right ones. Randi was always looking for the good points of others. Sure, she was human, but she was also half nymph. A nymph was a creature that was so beautiful and gorgeous, somehow so alluring that they have the ability of water and wood and other sorts of powers over nature and other things. That's what Randi had, but she had all powers over water and nature and fire and other things. After all, she was a nymph, just like her sisters and mother were. Though her father could be a male nymph, he was one of the most prettiest people you could ever meet. But beauty never lasts. Their house in the woods was on fire. There was smoke coming out and everyone had to escape. Randi lost sight of her sisters and her mother, even her father. She didn't know where they were. She was getting fretful that they must be dead. Randi managed to escape a new life. She went to Louisiana to start off something new there. But while she was there, starting her new life, something unexpected happens. While strolling in the mall one day, all of a sudden she noticed that there were some gunmen coming in. They didn't look like any heavy security, and they did not look like terrorists. But once they opened fire, people were screaming, and Randi was so terrified that she ran into one of the empty booths in the mall and ducked down there. Luckily, there was so much shooting going on that the gunmen didn't even realize that Randi was in one of the booths, even though they passed by thinking it was all empty. But if they did find her, she would try her best to fake death, which works, and they would leave. It was so quiet that Randi could hear the music from above. It was pretty scary. Once hospitals and police and also other SWAT teams came and managed to stop the shooters and save the hostages, everyone got out, including Randi. During the whole time, Randi just sat there like a rock. She was hugging her knees, but she was shivering. Yet she couldn't speak, she couldn't move. She was just so frightened by all that has happened. First her family and the fire. Now this incident at the hotel. What worse could have come? While staying at her apartment, almost all day, Randi thought it felt pretty gloomy to be in here. She opened the windows, looked out to see what a beautiful day it was. One day, leaving the window open, Randi decided to look at the beautiful day, but she must have looked at it too long because sooner she fell asleep. She was woken up by a sudden wind. It was so strong that Randi thought she would fly out, but then she realized something. She was gliding in the air. She didn't know what was going on, but she knew that somehow the wind was taking her, probably somewhere far from here. So she flew out of the window and into the sky. There was some sort of bright light. She thought maybe it was the sun. She wasn't sure what was up there. It seemed like a bright light, like heaven was calling. If that was heaven. So Randi flew into the bright light. She didn't know what happened next. The bright light blinded her, and she faded into it. Okay, guys, that's the end of Randi's first part of her point of view. Stay tuned for more coming your way. I'm Catherine Donovan, and I'll see you next time.